Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a Lego set. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote into chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can use other people's emotes. You can just say hi. And if you feel like being a lurker, you can just go ahead and lurk. That's also okay. No one will get mad at you. Let's see. John said, no pennies off of subscribers, though. No discounts. Lashberg is here. John is here, as I said. And Ghost Valve is here. Welcome, welcome. Happy to have all of you here. Thanks for throwing the emotes and letting me know that you're around and that you are not just all lurkers. Which, again, if you want to lurk, that's cool. Lord Crashington also here on a 235 stream streak, which is so many streams. The streak thing I've always found interesting. Occasionally mine will pop up and I'll be like, oh yeah, I guess I should tell people that. But yeah, welcome. Happy to have you here. I hope you're all doing well on this fine internet. It's a Monday. It's Memorial Day in the United States. So there was no mail, which I did forget about. And I did go to the box to look to see if we got mail. We didn't. It was also really rainy around here, so our plans to do a cookout fell through. I was going to grill, but instead busted out the George Foreman and did that. And then instead of doing grilled on the grill, already, pre-shucked corn, we shucked the corn and boiled it. So corn on the cob, burgers, cheeseburgers, and potato salad, and some chips. Because my dad decided he'd rather have chips than potato salad, which, like, I get it. We're going to go to the overhead camera. We're going to start working on this jet. This is the Lego 3-in-1 race plane set. We already built the plane, and now we're working on the jet, and then we'll work on the helicopter, which will be the easiest of the three builds. We're working on the jet. You can see we are working on a wing here. Got parts of this already done. Chaka corn, says Lord Crashington. What was I going to say? I only started eating potato salad in the last 5 years. At some point in my life, I did not enjoy it, and I just stopped eating it. I should also say American style potato salad, because it's different. That's how it's advertised, as American style potato salad. What those differences are, I am not super familiar with. My apologies that I can't give you an actual indication what that is, but American style potato salad, I've come around on. I like potatoes, I like mayonnaise, I like the little bit of vinegar in there. Usually there's some peppers that can throw in there, maybe put some paprika. Some people will put, they will do a boiled egg, and then they will chop up that egg and put fine bits of egg in there as well. Turns out I like it. I didn't at certain points in my life, but then turns out, I came around on it to where I am now, where I will eat it if offered. So yeah, a good little meal. I did the burgers again on a George Foreman, not on the grill, which is a shame, but it was raining so much, and it wasn't actually at that point when we cooked actually raining, but it felt like it was going to rain at any time. And so I did not want to risk it. No risking it for the biscuit. All right. And then so you go, you go like this. Okay. You go all the way over here. All right. There's an overlap. Okay. And go like that. All righty. And yeah, that looks correct. So we'll move on. Oh, a reminder. One thing, this is a kit from 2025, or should say a Lego set for 2025. So there were two big things that I noticed in this set that are a bit different from previous Lego. One I noticed that I was very excited about was that inside of the box was, instead of plastic bags, paper bags, recyclable paper bags. Really cool. And the second one was, is, that they are highlighting the pieces in some instances here in red. For like-minded colors or the same colors. And that is really nice. That is a thing that you will see in Mega Constructs, like the Mega Pokemon kits and the like. So it is very nice to see that in this set. All right, so we can put that aside because we got a bunch of that done. Oh, I didn't even say. We're currently at 29 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up about the number of subscribers I have, or what the goal is, once I hit the goal. So if you're ever like, I would love to stop hearing about how many subscribers Pat has. A way to make that happen would be to become help me out, gift sub, become a subscriber, all those things. Like, you don't have to, but you can. You don't have to do it, but if you wanted to do it, you certainly could. I wouldn't say, oh no, please don't subscribe or gift subs. I would never say that. Maybe individually, but not as like in general. Lord Crashington wants me to hit the dance button. Thank you for using your channel points for the dance button. Here it is, the dance button, right the fuck now. Let's get some pieces together here. Build out this thing. Make sure we're doing this correctly. The drop is coming. The drop is coming. Look out, the drop is coming. And thank you for using your channel points so that I had to hit that dance button, because that was totally fine. Totally okay doing that. Hitting that dance button. Making it happen. All right, I'm going to go like that. Is that correct? That is correct. That is looking right. Moving on to the next thing. I do know what I'm building after this. I have a model kit to build once we're done here, but we are going to finish the jet, completely build the jet, take a photo of the jet. I'll take a photograph. And then it will be time to disassemble it, build a helicopter, and if there's time in the stream, we will start a cool model kit. A fairly modern model kit that does not have polycaps. And I was afraid it might, because it is from a show that, or the movie that is new, but it is a modification of original kit. So I thought maybe they aren't going to do a complete new kit, but they did. It's a complete new kit. So it doesn't have, what do you call it? It doesn't have polycaps, which I was really excited about, because I love this modern trend of building without having to have the caps. Very nice. Super into it. All right, we put that there. And then we put this here. All right, so let's get, what was I going to say? Yeah, so today I exercised a bunch. I did a little bit of cleaning around the house, getting some stuff ready. I kind of relaxed because I had a busy day yesterday. I had a meeting. I had a minor, or small, I think it was only like an hour and a half game of Fiasco with some people. That was very fun. And then I watched so much goddamn wrestling. So much wrestling. And we'll get into that because, oh boy. Also, I watched an episode of Lazarus, the most recent episode of Lazarus. I watched that because I wanted to talk about it on stream today. And I did watch 2 episodes of Apocalypse Hotel. I don't know if we'll talk about both episodes, but we will probably talk about it. And then also yesterday, a thing I wanted to do, was I recorded the most recent episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club that went up today. Now, normally I would record that on a Friday or a Saturday, but it was, this particular episode was me talking about a variety of, well, it was not a variety of topics. I almost said a variety of topics. That's not true at all. I was talking about how we just hit the on Sunday early morning, so I did not watch it live. The Anime Awards, Crunchyroll's Anime Awards happened, and so I wanted to talk about the results of the Anime Awards and go through all that. So usually I record a video earlier, but I was like, oh, I'll do it on Sunday. So I did it on Sunday, and I got that done and uploaded, and then it went out to the general population today. Spoiler alert, I think that the Anime of the Year is a show that I like, and I'm excited that a manhwa won Anime of the Year. I think that's very cool. But it's not the best anime of 2024, and it's not the best anime of all of 2024 and fall 2023. It's like, that's not that in my opinion, it did not, the right show did not win, but but like I said, I made a video about it and you can watch the video. Laura Crashton says, I was listening to the Next Liner podcast and Brad's continued embarrassment and enjoying Fortnite as he developed a routine for it was funny to hear. Yeah, like Brad still has that. I mean, look, Brad's doing his dailies, right? For a lot of people, that's just like, oh yeah. And maybe that's a thing of youth, right? And so Brad doesn't necessarily feel like he's that guy anymore that would like log into a game. But also, hey, you had dailies and weeklies in Destiny 2. It's just that it's Fortnite. And Fortnite is inherently ridiculous because Epic does not care for it to... Epic does not treat Fortnite like it's some kind of special thing. It's just a game that has a bunch of other stuff inside of it, and they don't treat it with reverence. False reverence, one might say, that other games do. Because it's just like, yeah, I'm like, it's just dailies. I don't know. I still play Hearthstone every fucking day to get my, like, on Mondays, I play more Hearthstone than I do any other day because the weeklies come out on Monday, and I like to do at least 2 of the 3 weeklies. I think I have, like, I'll finish the 3rd weekly tomorrow when I do tomorrow's daily, because that's just what I do. I play the decks I like to play. I make some decks occasionally. There's, like, another thing happening where I am like, there's a timed event, and so there'll be a new like bi-weekly that comes up, or I think it's 12 days. There's a thing that I have to complete in 12 days, but like I will complete most of it tomorrow while I am doing other things because it won't be that hard, and I will build a deck specifically to facilitate those things. Because I like doing that in Hearthstone. Because then I'm going to unlock decks, and I'm going to earn card packs, as you say, and I'm going to unlock gold to buy card packs for the next expansion. And it's just going to be like, yeah, I'll just do that. And I've got no, like, qualms about it. Yeah. Yeah, Lord Crashing, I do think that all 3 of those guys still have that thing of, oh, I need to, they like Nextlander, because Nextlander has a podcast where they want to talk about new stuff. You do get the sense that sometimes, at least a couple of them, I don't think actually all of them, but a couple of them sometimes feel bad that they haven't like touched the new hotness. If it's a game they really want to play, of course, they also have that nagging thing of like, oh, people are playing this cool game that I also want to play. But sometimes it's just like, well, the big release came out and one of us should touch it. And it's like, no, that's okay. Like, I'm all right. I don't need... I'd rather hear about, like, oh, hey, here's my thoughts on the middle of Claire Obscura. Like, here's my thoughts on the end game of Blueprints. Like, I'd rather hear that than, hey, I spent an hour playing this game, and I didn't really touch much of it, and I don't really have much of an opinion on it, but here's me talking about it. Like... I'm not interested in that. If I was, I would listen to podcasts where they had a wide variety of people constantly playing the newest stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I think that's just how I feel about it, you know? And I don't know. Like, if Brad is having fun playing Fortnite, it's like, all right, yeah, I would like to hear Brad, a contemporary of mine, talk about Fortnite. That's interesting to me. Because I only really engage with Fortnite in memes and occasionally watching a Will Smith stream where he's playing Fortnite. Like, those are my exposures to Fortnite. So, like, yeah, I wouldn't mind hearing Brad talk about Fortnite. It's like, okay, if he wants to talk about it. If he doesn't want to talk about it and he just wants it to be his shame game, that's okay. Yeah. I think Alex plays games that he wants to play more than Brad and Vinny. And I think that's healthy and good. That Alex dips into. Alex plays games for longer. Vinny also has an issue that is not an issue. He has a situation, I should say. I should say this. Vinny has a situation in that he also plays games with his kids. And kids don't necessarily jump from one thing to another. So I do genuinely think that sometimes Vinny's like, well, this is my time. I should be playing something new because I know I'm going to spend all of my other time with the kids playing a game, you know, whatever game they want to play. It's like, yeah, you just play what you want to play. I don't know. I love that about, I have all the respect in the world for, and I also do this myself, like, right? Like, I could figure out algorithmically what you, the viewers, most want to see on a Tuesday. I could figure that out, and then I could make sure I only do that, right? I could figure out, okay, strategy games seem to hit best for these folks. Oh, we like storytelling games, we like puzzle games, whatever it is, right? But I just play a bunch of different things. Like, Pokemon Randomizer is probably actually the answer. Every Tuesday, I should probably be continuing my Pokemon Randomizer run until I finish the game and then start a new Pokemon Randomizer run. That's probably the actual answer for what I should do on Tuesdays, but that's not the answer that I enjoy. I want to play a bunch of things. I want to play a variety. I want to play Hearthstone and show off my silly decks. I want to play puzzle games, and I want to play cozy builders, and I want to play Jackbox, and I want to do a bunch of other things. And we're at the point now here with my streams where y'all are in for the ride, and I appreciate that. We got some ride or dies, and that's awesome. And maybe everything I do isn't necessarily everybody's cup of tea, but you're here hopefully for the experience. I have not hit the point where, like, maybe someday I would hit the point where, like, oh, I can't do Tuesday streams anymore. I can't do gaming streams because my audience genuinely just wants to see model kits get built and Lego sets get assembled. Oh, they actually don't want Lego anymore. They just want model kits. I have to just keep buying model kits and building model kits. And, like, if I started building an audience and that audience was demanding, then I would probably listen to the demand. But since I haven't hit that point, I'm not going to worry about it, and I'm just going to do what I want to do and take the feedback, right? Like, I take the feedback into consideration of, like, oh, nobody came to this stream. People might not be interested in this thing. Am I so interested in it that I don't mind that or not? And we'll see. Twitch is a feature that will tell you what optimal games are to stream. Yes, I will never look at that. I do not care. I do not care what Twitch algorithmically thinks. Like I said during this conversation, I could algorithmically figure out what I should do, but that doesn't interest me because I have not built an audience enough that this audience has expectations. What does my current audience have expectations? I will stream for 2 hours. I will end about 10:55 p.m. Eastern time. I will start at like 9:05 Eastern time. So I will stream for about an hour and 50 minutes. I will take a probably too long break to promote myself in the middle. Considering the amount of audience I have, I should probably not worry about that. But I will do it because it's a habit that I like. And so I will continue to do that. I will work on a Lego set or a model kit 3 days a week. 1 day a week, I will do something else, which is mostly gaming, but occasionally not gaming. I will read every chat message. I will respond to 99% of chat messages. I will talk about anime that interests me. I will talk about other things that interest me. Like, we're going to talk about wrestling in a minute, and we will talk about wrestling, and I will not be distracted to not talk about the wrestling show that happened last night, because that wrestling show was fucking awesome, and I want to talk about it. And there's some stuff I didn't love as results for long-term storytelling, for sure, but overall, from bell to bell, what a fucking good show. And I want to gush about it because this is a platform where I get to talk about things that make me happy or make me mad. And also, it's Memorial Day, so there was no gaming news because the gaming news sites didn't work today, which is great. There'll be one piece of gaming news in the wrestling because sometimes the wrestling and the wrestling and video games kiss. It's great. It doesn't happen all that often, but it does happen. So we will talk about that. And we're going to get into that because I want to talk about it. Yes. Yes. I mean, Lord Crashington, the truth is, what I would want to do is find a game that is both about to really break out, that I'm also remarkably good at, I have witnessed this. I have witnessed this phenomenon with friends of mine who have been very good at a game that is just popping off, and Twitch streamers haven't really caught on to, and you get in on the ground floor with it. I don't ever expect to do that because I don't chase anything, ever. I am late to the party. You know, I am consistently late to the party, and I do not care about that because I am not looking for that. But yes, or I would look at, I could do this. I could do this if I wanted to. I could look at the most popular things on Twitch, and I could look at when people stream those games or things. And I could realize, oh, in the afternoons Eastern time, there aren't a lot of people streaming blank. I could do that. So people that are looking for games of blank would find me. And I could do that. I could be the top of a category or a game in certain hours of the day, and therefore draw people in for that, and then win them over with my whatever. And I could do that. But that's not what I want to do at all, because that's not me. That's not going to work. It just isn't. So I'm not going to worry about that. But I could do all those things. I could. And instead, I'm going to play a tactics game tomorrow, which I am bad at, a quote-unquote easy tactics game that I will struggle with because a friend of mine made it, and it seems fucking cool, and I like the Ninja Turtles. So I'm going to play a Ninja Turtles game tomorrow. Pat pivoting from model kit building to politics and watch parties. Oh, I mean, John, life would be a dream if I could, with my heart, pull off reactionary content. If I could become a drama streamer, and where I just do where I watch drama videos, not even make them. I watch drama videos and comment on them and just play other people's content with my limited commentary, which most of the time will not even be commentary, and I'm not even doing anything to change it or transform it. I am literally just using other people's work for my own benefit. Oh, that would be great. Like, we could watch a video that someone made about how this one YouTuber and TikToker who got well known for making videos about streaming and tips and tricks for streaming, a person who didn't fucking stream, was not a streamer, just made good videos about streaming, and then became a streamer who streamed about streaming, but randomly did a video that was like an investigative video that was just like another thing that became classified as a drama video, and that did better than all her other content. So she switched to becoming a drama YouTuber, and then she did an expose trying to make a VTuber that is beloved look bad based on bad intel she got from someone else, and it blew up in her fucking face, and all of the VTubers fans are like, this is libel. She, you know, if she didn't want to protect her identity, she would sue you. And this fucking person that tried to pivot into VTuber shit or into drama shit completely collapsed. We could just watch that video and I'd go, oh, damn. Oh, that's fucked up. Oh, that really fucked up. And that would be the easiest fucking content in the world. And I could just do that. But I'm not going to do that. I didn't super enjoy Tactics Turtle demo, but I'm willing to give it more than 30 minutes. Yeah, I mean, we're going to play it tomorrow. I'm going to see how I feel about it. I played some of it and I liked what I played. But anyway, like, I could do all that, but instead, I'm going to continue to work on this Lego set that came out in 2025 that I think is cute and neat. And I'm going to work on that. And I'm also going to tell you about some wrestling that happened after I drink some water because my throat is dry. I'm going to drink some water. Double or Nothing 2025 took place yesterday. Last night, I should say. There were only two pre-show matches. The buy-in half an hour of talking and then 2 pre-show matches with talking in between. Anna Jay and Harley Cameron, dressed similarly, defeated Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford, dressed similarly. We love that. We love that when tag teams dress alike. That's the good shit that we are a big fan of here on the channel. In a tag match that was fine. That was a perfectly fine tag match. Nothing to write home about. Nice to see ladies on the card. There were, between pre-show and show, 10 ladies wrestled. That's a lot of ladies. You could argue that the main event wasn't really wrestling, but it's wrestling. That's a lot of ladies wrestling, and that's great to see. We love that. We love that. Bandito, AR Fox, and Hologram and Commander defeated RPG Vice, that's Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta, and Crew, that's Action Andretti and Leo Rush. Action Andretti got legit a hard way busted open, and it looked really fucking bad, and I hope he's okay, even if I don't like him as a performer right now, currently, in his current situation. As a person, I wish him the best and hope that he's doing okay today. This match was fine. A lot of bullshit. AR Fox is not a luchador, but he can fucking move like one when needed. And it was a bunch of cool lucha shit. Completely unnecessary. Didn't do anything for anybody. Got some people a nice payday. We love to see that. I don't want to say Hologram's fallen off, but I figured at this point they would have belted up a mid-card title for Hologram. And I know he got injured for a while, but it's weird that they kind of stalled out on him. And I'm surprised by that. Oh. Our opening contest. We bookended the show, the main show, with Owen Hart Foundation Cup Tournament Finals. The winner of each will face the world champion in their division. Mercedes Moné defeated Jamie Hayter in 21 minutes in one of Mercedes' best matches to date. She and Jamie are fucking gold together. Now, I had predicted that this would go to Jamie Hayter, that there would be shenanigans and Jamie Hayter would win. And I did that mostly because I assume Toni Storm will be champion in July, because there's not a pay-per-view in June. So I assume in July she'll be champion. And I did not want the TBS champion and the AEW Women's World Champion to face each other, because I am afraid then there will be no other women's wrestling on the All-In card if both of the champions are in a match. This will not be title for title. This will be for just the world title. I now have to hope that Mercedes drops the TBS title between now and then on like one of their they got a 4-hour Dynamite coming up. She could lose on that show, I guess. I don't fucking know. I don't know what to do with this. I would say also, now people had said, well, Pat, Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné is the money match. That's the match you do. And I said, in my opinion, the actual money match is Jamie and Toni would have been fucking great. And Mercedes and Athena would have been really fucking good, because the last one was really good. And that way you would have had Mercedes versus hometown hero Athena in Texas. And that would have been cool as hell. And you would have gotten 2 must-see matches instead of 1 must-see match, and hopefully there'll be another one. Because the thing that I think they're fucking building to is like Willow versus Statlander, which we've seen and it's pretty good, but it's not going to be great. I don't know. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like it's going to be. Because that's the other prominent women's, like, not even a feud story. I don't know. Ooh, that looks neat. That looks pretty cool. FTR, that's Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood with Stokely, defeated Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness with Daddy Magic Matt Menard via submission. I don't know how much longer Mercedes has till she beats Jade's title reign, but I don't see her dropping it before then. Lash Brooke They haven't mentioned how long. I don't think that matters. I don't. The thing is, they don't want to mention it because they don't want to mention Jade. So they don't mention how long she's been champion. Just that she's hasn't lost a singles match. Like that's the only thing they mention. I don't think that title reign is important to them. I just don't want the TBS champion to become also the world champion, which I think is what's going to happen. So I'd rather she just lose that belt. The last thing we need to do is build the stand, but we already built it. FTR are really good assholes. They are doing a phenomenal job of being just tremendous dicks in this. They're just doing such a good job. A jet has been built. Look at this jet. It's pretty cool. They're just great at it. I know some people thought that Danny Garcia might join them and turn heel. I didn't see that. I know some people thought maybe they were going to win, that the good guys were going to win. But the thing is that Adam Copeland is waiting in the shadows. They took him out. Adam Copeland has to get his revenge. So Adam and Danny are going to beat FTR at All In. And then it was like, well, if Danny turns, then... Because I know to a lot of people, the end game is Adam Copeland and Christian being a tag team again. That is what people want, because that feels like the last thing that Adam Copeland's going to do before he retires. I don't want that, because I like to leave the memories alone. And I don't think that Adam Copeland and Christian Cage as a tag team is going to be good in 2025. So I don't need to see that at all. But I do think we're going to see Cope and Garcia tag. That's what it feels like. Ricochet defeated Mark Briscoe in a stretcher match that was actually an ambulance match, but that's okay. The rules of a stretcher match are you strap your opponent to a stretcher and pass a line. You get them over a goalpost, a line in the sand or whatever, and you win. That's what it is. An ambulance match is you put your opponent in an ambulance and close both doors, and then you win. In this case, it was put your opponent on a stretcher, put them in an ambulance, and close the doors. But Mark Briscoe ended up on a stretcher that was already in the ambulance. But yeah, this was a great match. It's semantics that was an ambulance match, not a stretcher match. Whatever. It's semantics. It was a great match. Finally, Ricochet gets a win on a pay-per-view. That's good. He needed that. Mark Briscoe suffers nothing from that loss other than blood, the loss of blood, because he fucking lost some goddamn blood. Holy shit, he lost blood in this match. This was a violent affair that was very good, and I enjoyed it tremendously. Ooh, that is darker than I would like. I'm going to retake this photo. For some reason, this is looks very yellow. There we go. There we go. Jet has been done. Now we can disassemble this jet. And then we will take this jet and we will turn it into a helicopter. Oop, there. Helicopter. Helicopter instructions. But we need to fully disassemble and sort these pieces, which we will do now as I continue over like this. A very shmup kind of jet. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's got to serve a lot of purposes. They got to serve a lot of masters here. So put those there, put that there, and we'll just sort by color and get this done. I got my brick separator, and we're just gonna separate some bricks here. But that match was great. What wasn't particularly great, which ended up being the shortest match of the night. The Hurt Syndicate, which is Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, with MVP and MJF in their corner, defeated the Sons of Texas, which is Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. Thus, the Hurt Syndicate defended their tag titles. The Ring of Honor tag titles were not on the line, so they did not lose those belts. This match was fucking fine. AEW refuses to accept that Sammy Guevara is a heel, and it's just so wild that they refuse to accept this. And also, they seem to refuse to accept the fact that the Hurt Syndicate are awesome and the crowd loves them. They're men in suits that beat people up and look good doing it. And the crowd is behind them. This has been an issue with the Hurt Business, the WWE variation of this faction. It was the same issue with, in my opinion, with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits in WWE. And it's the problem we have in AEW now. These dudes are fucking cool. And they are booked like heels, but the crowd responds to them like they're faces. And so the faces get booed. There was only one babyface, or there was only one real heel in that match, and it was MJF on the outside, who did cheat, and then Bobby was happy that he was cheating. But you know who also cheated in that match? Dustin Rhodes cheated a lot in that match to even the score, but he still cheated quite a bit because he's still Dustin Rhodes, and there's still a little bit of gold dust in there. So it's just like, all right, well, he's a fucking cheater too. What do you want? I don't know. That was an ill-conceived. I'm just waiting for Sammy Guevara to turn his back on Dustin Rhodes so they can have matches that I don't care about. But I need this to get hurried up. And they don't. AEW does not seem to want to do that. I think they want Dustin's popularity to make Sammy. They're just trying the Sammy babyface thing again, and I do not think it will work because I think that the man just has such a punchable fucking face. Sammy Guevara just has a face you want to punch. I just think it's a fool's errand. Okada retained his Continental Championship against Speedball Mike Bailey. Speedball, hey, I mentioned how there was a video game reference in this show. Here's the video game reference. Speedball had custom ring gear designed that aped the style of Balatro, one of Speedball's favorite games. And it was a lot of Speedball faces as Jokers. It looked fucking rad. The Balatro Blue Sky account re-skeeted it, so got a little shout out. It looked so fucking good. I just started yelling, Balatro. Yeah, that's Balatro gear. What the fuck? And it was very fucking good. He looked so good. It was awesome. They are an incredible wrestler. The fact that this is their second pay-per-view and both pay-per-views they have competed in have been for titles is wild. This match fucking ruled. This was an actual how do I want to say this? Well, I am not an Okada apologist. I am a AEW Kazuchika Okada realist. And what I say is Okada is a phenomenal wrestler that just wants to be a comedy wrestler. He just wants to be a goofy comedy wrestler, but he has the body of a god and the ability to back up that body. And so he became a main eventer. But he doesn't want to be a main eventer. He wants to be a fucking goof that occasionally has really good matches. And he got a really good match with Speedball Mike Bailey. And that match fucking ruled. And it could easily be one of his best matches in AEW. I thought his match with Eddie Kingston when he beat Eddie for the Continental Championship was phenomenal. I thought the main event match he had in the Continental Classic this year was really good. He's had some bangers, but this was a top tier match for Okada. It was class. One might say it was real fucking good. I was super into it, and I'm glad. I wish I had a little more time, but it was good. Another match I wish I had a little more time: Timeless Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa for the Women's World Championship. Because they were in Arizona, Toni came out dressed like I don't like what we think of as a bar maiden, from like the Old West, like a saloon lady. Looked really good. And then Luther, her manager, came out, or valet, butler, whatever, came out dressed similar. Good back and forth. They have just excellent chemistry in the ring. I thought it was a solid match. It certainly looked like Mina It never felt like Mina was going to win, and I think that's okay. But Toni did have to work for it, which I also think is okay, that she would have to work for that match to beat a friend of hers. And they kissed at the end, and that's nice. We got two queer ladies kissing at the end of a match, renewing their friendship. It's just casual, according to Toni in character. It's just a casual affair. But yeah, I thought that was great. Toni versus Mercedes will be the next big one. I kind of want Mercedes to drop that TBS title, as I said. I think she's going to beat Toni. I think that's okay. Because I would like to see what happens with Toni without the belt for a while and what Toni does. Because Mariah beating Toni was like a devastating thing that was like a assumed secondary psychic break, because a reminder in kayfabe, Timeless Toni Storm is a psychotic episode that Toni Storm is facing because she lost her belt and was betrayed by her friends and teammates, and she became timeless. But then she had a whole thing where she was playing the rookie version of herself, but that was just a work because she was just playing the role of who she was before she got to AEW on the indie version of Toni Storm. Very phenomenal performance. So it's like, what happens when she loses the belt this time? I'd like to see that. So, we'll see that. Again, this was a good match. Anarchy in the Arena clocked in at 35 minutes and 10 seconds, and so much fucking shit happened. This was Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, Willow Nightingale, and the Ops, in this case represented by Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Shibata, with Prince Nana there, and then also help from Mark Briscoe, who is not affiliated with anyone except he doesn't like the Death Riders, and also a brief help from the other member of the Ops, Hook, who is not a trios champion, but is a member of that and seems to be kind of mad. But he did come in. Hook did appear in this match wearing a orange hoodie, but it was a Kenny from South Park hoodie that he did have pulled over his face and tightened up to protect his identity, which is very funny. Very good. It was very funny. But yeah, he hit someone with a golf club. It was good. Anyway, they defeated the Death Riders, Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Marina Shafir, Wheeler Yuta, and the Young Bucks, Matthew Jackson and Nicholas Jackson, by pinfall. This match went all over the fucking place. It was crazy. There was a forklift involved. A forklift operator should lose his license for agreeing to do the spot he did, where there was not only someone standing on the forklift who was not tied down or seated, there was also someone crouched on the lift part driving through, and that is completely illegal and an OSHA violation. So that person should get fined. That is an OSHA violation, and that is wild it's wild that spot happened. And I can't imagine that is a union man doing that. Gabe Kidd got involved, which is why we had Mark Briscoe get involved. Now, reminder, Mark Briscoe was in a stretcher match. The ambulance that he'd gotten placed in had not left. So he appeared still very fucking bloody. And in my headcanon, that means that the ambulance never left. He was just sitting in there and then eventually was like, oh, I'll just leave. And then he was like, oh, there's a match happening. But they locked the Death Riders in the ambulance, which is very funny words to say. There was some intergender wrestling happening. Mostly Marina and Willow fought each other, but they did occasionally get involved. Some people that didn't want to necessarily fight a lady who got called a pussy. That's always fun. Willow totally willing to get in it with the dudes, taking some offense from the dudes. At one point, Willow Nightingale got her earring. Actually, no, sorry. I guess it was her earring got hooked to a chain and then locked to the ring post. And I was like, is it her ear hole? Like it was but it was one of those like ear piercing, like I forget what they call it, the whole thing, because otherwise you just take the earring off and you're fine. But whatever. At one point there was a please help Willow chant because it was disturbing. That was a disturbing element to think about that. So the crowd was like, hey, please help Willow. Find some time to help Willow. Thank you, Prince Nana. She has her ear gauged. Okay, so the gauge was locked through a chain. Okay, that's what it was. They were a little unclear. But yeah, eventually Prince Nana got a key and unlocked it, and that was good. Oh yeah, the Young Bucks had a, because of Memorial Day weekend, they had a special entrance where they were dressed as the Founding Fathers because they're the Founding Fathers of AEW, and they had a whole speech thing, and it was fun and wild. That music, the like fife and drum music played while that is an ongoing bit within the Anarchy in the Arena matches where music keeps playing. It's often someone's wrestling theme. In this case, it was that. And then Kenny was like, play something else. And then I'm So Excited played, which was like the Dynamite theme for like a couple weeks at one point, and people were really clowning on it. So this was a callback to that. And then Kenny was like, this is not right. This is not what I like. Just, hey, play something from the 2000s. And then, let the bodies hit the floor played, and it played through 4 times until eventually someone got thrown into a speaker, and that speaker apparently controlled all of the music in the venue, and so that music couldn't play anymore. It was a good bit. Kept hearing bodies. I loved it, Lashbrook. I loved every second of it. I loved that it kept playing, that they didn't have a loop of it, that the song ended, and then the let the bodies hit the started again, and the whisper. I loved that audience members knew the words when Kenny tried to like pointed a microphone at them. I loved it. It was so great and dumb that it kept going on and on and on, and that it only ended when someone went into a speaker. The rest of the match where there wasn't music, I was like, man, I wish there was still music playing. I loved it. Absolutely. It was my favorite kind of dumb. When AEW points in the direction of DDT more than they point in the direction of WWE, we are in good, we're in the good zone. We are in the best version of it. Because I like my wrestling good, and I also like it stupid. And when it's good and stupid, I'm feeling great. The fact that like the closing spot was not the one-winged angel off the stage into a table that then sparks shot out of because, there were electrical cables on that table. What? That wasn't the finish. The thumbtacks in the mouth was gnarly. The staples of like, what do you want from me? Like, yeah, if you hit a staple gun into Hobbs, that man has been shot before. Like, for real, been shot. A shoot shot. That's not gonna startle him. Fucking the fact that Swerve Strickland got his tongue pierced so that it looked like someone shot him. Yes, listen, indeed, Lord Crashington. He was shot for a shoot, not a work. He was not work shot. He was shoot shot. For shoot, which means for real, not for work. It's a shoot. Sometimes it's a work shoot. Yes, well, we're getting into wrestling lingo. It's just that also Giant Bomb uses it. That's just wrestling lingo. Lord Crashington, as you are well aware, Dan Reichert speaks in wrestling lingo because he's who he is. We are also speaking in wrestling lingo here because it is very fun to say a shoot shot. We're just doing the wrestling. Anyway, that match was fucking wild and great, and I fucking loved it, top to bottom. I will say, I feel like there were like some spots that took a while to set up and maybe dragged a little bit, but it was still pretty fucking great. You know what it was? There was too much time in between the most of one team has been locked in an ambulance and the end of the match. There was too much time between that. The ambulance should have been right before, like, oh, there's only the Matt and Nicholas left. We're going to win this. Anyway, Babyfaces won. Mark Briscoe was celebrating, even though he wasn't on the team. It was fun. Nana danced. It was a good time. Enjoyable. Then the cool down, which some people are like, why was this match on the card? This is not a pay-per-view match. Why is this here? And that goes into a larger problem. AEW does not treat wrestling like a variety. Their idea of what a variety show is different from my idea of what a variety show is, and therefore I have some conflict with how AEW approaches there. What they approach is non-stop, incredible action, match, video package for the next match, match, video package for the next match, match. No break, nothing different, no interviews, barely any, no ring segments. You know what this show could have used? Max Caster coming out and trying to get the audience to do his chant, and then doing an open challenge that lasts under a minute. Like that is something different. That is something that would have been great to see, just because it would have felt very different from what we got, which was just like match, match, match. So even here, a 6-man, the Don Callis family, in this case, Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, and Josh Alexander, with Lance Archer and Don Callis, defeated the Paragon, which is Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong by pinfall in a 6-man match that was there because they needed time in between the Anarchy in the Arena match and the main event, just for something different. And people were like, well, the crowd is dead. Sucks for these guys. They knew that. Those 6 men knew they were going out there to a dead crowd. Because of course the crowd is dead. The matches started at 7 p.m. and it was like 11 something. Of course they're dead. AEW does a very long show with no breaks, no cool downs, no breathers. And so the crowd dies, and then you have to build them back up. And you know what built them back up? After the match was over, the Don Callis family were beating up the baby faces, and then a parade of random people came out, including Tanahashi, Ishii, and Brody King came out to pop the crowd and make them happy. And the crowd was happy. And the biggest pop of that segment was them coming out. And then it was very funny because the last move in the brawl was Adam Cole, and the crowd died again because they were like, yeah, we don't care about that. We don't care about your move. We were psyched because like we did not expect to see some of these cool people come out. We're not here for you. It was there. It was fine. It was somehow, I don't know why it was longer than the fucking tag match, but it was longer than the goddamn tag match, and there's no reason for that. There's no reason for that. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. It was shorter than the tag titles match. No, yeah, I'm sorry. It was longer than the tag titles match, which was the shortest match on the card. And I don't know why it happened. And then the main event. The fucking main event, y'all. Hangman Adam Page defeated Will Ospreay to win the Owen Hart Foundation Cup Tournament final, and he is going to All In against Jon Moxley. It's like the ambulance matches in 2K. Yeah. This match fucking owned. It was so good. It was phenomenal. It was maybe a little too long. Maybe it was just like a minute and change longer than the Anarchy in the Arena match. It did not need to be that long for 2 men. It was grueling. Hangman Adam Page came back and shook Will Ospreay's hand at the end. He also came out to his old music. He came out to his old cowboy theme, and it was good, or a variation of it. It's not the exact same, but it was variation. He came out. It was good. He looked good. The match was excellent. Told a good story about both. Like, Will started getting fucking aggressive because he just couldn't pull off the win. And it was a good time. I'm a little worried if Will Ospreay had won, I would have said for sure
Will Ospreay is going to beat Jon Moxley at All In Texas. It'll be, Will Ospreay, no problem. It's his ascension. It's his time. He'll carry the belt until Forbidden Door. Sounds great. Will Ospreay did not win. Hangman Adam Page won. And Hangman has not beaten Moxley previously in the 4-way fight. Him, in this case, I'm like, ooh, I am kind of worried about this. I do not know if they'll do it. Now, obviously, Hangman Adam Page, cowboy character. In Texas, gonna be over huge. He's a Virginia boy, but you get it. Texas, yeah, it'll work. That gimmick will work there. Gonna be over huge. My honest fear is, like I said, when I was locked in of like, oh, okay, they're just gonna do this. Ospreay will beat him. It'll be fine. They might pull this off with Hangman. They might do it. I hope they do. Hangman Adam Page's first world title run was not good. It was actually legitimately not his fucking fault. They had him face baby faces. He was a babyface champion facing other babyfaces who were cooler than him. He was fighting Bryan Danielson, and people really wanted Bryan Danielson to win the title. He fought, his last champion match was against CM Punk, who was also a babyface, who obviously wasn't going to turn heel. And they kept Hangman face. He fought a heel Adam Cole, but that Adam Cole was very popular at the time because he had just gotten there, and people were psyched about the idea of AEW doing what WWE didn't do, which is like put the main belt on Adam Cole. So people were like really excited about that. He did have a Texas death match with with Lance Archer that was really fucking good, but nobody expected Lance Archer to beat him. So it was, it was what it was. But that was really fucking good. Don't get me wrong. So yeah, he didn't have a good run. He lost a non-title match. It was bad news all around. So I'm a little worried about that. I would love to have him have a redemption arc with that title, but I do fear that they're going to be like, let's wait till Forbidden Door and have Darby Allin win it at Forbidden Door or some dumb bullshit. Ugh, I'm just fucking scared of it. I think losing tonight should be the downslope, like they lost the trios belts. They lost the Anarchy in the Arena match. I would love this to be the slow downfall of Moxley and the Death Riders, but I don't fucking know if they're gonna let that happen. I'm worried they won't. I'm worried that he'll beat Hangman for some reason. Ugh. I don't like being worried about that because I just want this fucking thing to be over. I just think it sucks. Anyway, that's wrestling. It was a really fucking... Even if I am down about 2 of the results, because I would have loved it to have been Will Ospreay, because I think Will Ospreay definitely beats Jon Moxley, and Hangman Adam Page maybe doesn't. And I would have loved to have seen Jamie Hayter beat Mercedes Moné, because I think Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné versus someone else makes for a better show. Because I would like to see Mercedes drop the TBS title to Athena in Texas. It's not going to happen. I would have liked to have seen that. I think that would have been good shit. But instead, she's probably going to win the world championship while still holding the TBS title. And then there'll just be there'll be like a number 1 contender match for something or other. Maybe she will on purpose give up the TBS title because she's so confident, but that doesn't make any sense. I don't think that's actually going to happen. Actually, that would be bad. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm a little concerned that she's not going to give up the TBS title and just hold both of them. Ugh. Worst case scenario. Anyway, I've got more Lego to assemble here, which we will do, of course. But we can't do this yet
we got to take a pause for the cause. I need to talk to you, friends, about ways that you can support the channel and what I do here. Everything I'm about to talk to you about is optional. You're under no obligation to do any of these things. If you would like to, that would be great, but you don't have to. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build with Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote into the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch, you get that token. You can use that token for anybody. If you want to use it for me, your friend Pat, that would be great. We would love that over here. And by we, I mean me. You can also, again, use Cash Money. You can gift a sub. You can be like Mjon and gift a sub to the channel. That would be great. Or you could be like Harold, H-Bomb and friends, and throw a little bits my way and be on the cheerleader board. Bits and coins, always appreciated. Gift subs anonymously or take credit for it, also always appreciated. You could do that if you want to. You don't have to. I do have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBaer. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier on my Patreon. If you want to throw a couple bucks my way that way on a monthly basis, you could do that. There will be this week I will record a Q&A video that will be exclusively just for my Patreon. It is the only exclusive content I make is my monthly Q&A video for my Patreon for all tiers. So you can check that out. And I do have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBaer. Over in my YouTube channel, you can, of course, subscribe for free if you wanted to. And you can be a member for just $2 a month. You will get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So tomorrow, you will find out what is the fourth and final of my favorite shows from the 2000s in my Kuma Baer series, which is my anime recommendation series. You can find that out there. Now, those are monthly ways to support me. If you just want to support me once in a while, you want to you wish I had a tip jar you could throw a couple bones into, well, you can do that through my Ko-Fi or my PayPal. You directly support me. And anything made through direct donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And every month when I get money from Twitch, I pull money out to then, of course, buy more model kits and Lego sets, keep building stuff. That's the thing. I've got a model kit that I'm going to be building soon that came in the mail to me pretty recently and then won the poll. I put in something that was pretty new and something that was pretty old and a Lego set. Now the kit that I'm currently working on, which we're going to build a helicopter right here. That helicopter, which is part of a larger set, I was able to purchase, or I didn't purchase. I didn't purchase that at all, I should say. It came from my Amazon wish list. Someone anonymously bought that with the only message being happy birthday ? Because my birthday is next month. If you would like to buy something, have a dedicated YouTube video about the thing you purchased, and then also have it jump the queue and become the next thing I build, you could do so. I've got Lego sets and model kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, all kinds of different things and things on my Amazon wish list, and you could buy something there and have it come to me in the mail, and then I will put it together on stream and it'll jump the queue. Right now, the it is a Planeswalker 500-piece jigsaw puzzle from Magic Gathering is currently on sale, and it's like $7 if you want to buy that. I've already done 2 of the 3 of those, and this is the 3rd one. I've got some knockoff Lego. I've got some model kits of all different prices. I've got some tools and gear at the bottom if you want to buy that. But yeah, if you see something there, you're like, I would love Pat to build with this or make this. You could buy that, and you could consider it a birthday gift because my birthday is in a month. So yeah, you do that. What was I going to say? Now, my alternative to Amazon, because it's nice to have alternatives, is I have a wish list on Throne. So if you see something on Throne, you can pick it up there. And then the most convoluted way to support me financially is to go to USA Gundam Store. You go to USA Gundam Store, you buy a gift card there. They will send you an email with a gift card code. It's not a physical card, it's just a code. Then you can send me a whisper on Twitch, or a DM on Twitter, or Blue Sky, or Mastodon with that gift card code. And I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. I just myself bought something from them this weekend because they had a Memorial Day sale, and I found something that was a good price even with paying for shipping, and I picked that up,
and I don't know when I'm going to get that because obviously USA Gundam Store probably sold a lot of stuff over over this weekend because they had a sale going. So sometime I'll get that at some point, and I'm excited about that. If you want to support me, but you just don't want to spend any money, I have a Discord, and you can join that Discord. It's a cool place, full of fun folks. We'd love to have you over in the Discord. Join me over there. And then a couple of video links for you to check out. As mentioned earlier, today I posted the newest episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club. In this episode, I am talking about, let me just make sure. Yes, the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. This year's Anime Awards happened on Sunday. And so I have a new video talking about the winners and the losers. I said the losers. The winners and the losers and my thoughts on that. The ones that didn't get nominated, the ones that should have won in a variety of categories, the things they got right. Also, we found out like what's a good dub right now in Hindi and two different kinds of Spanish, Latin American Spanish and Castilian Spanish. Like what's really popular in that, which is always one of my favorite things about the awards is finding that stuff out. So I talked about that. My friend and also a person I've only met a couple times, I wouldn't call a friend, but I've met before. Neither of them won for a best voice actor, which is a shame. Real shame. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. I've been talking about my favorite shows all this month from the 2000s, including Kaiji, which is a high stakes, over the top, incredibly dramatic, sometimes like stress inducing series about high stakes gambling that is just wild and very good. Kaiji, it's so I don't know if I'll ever want to watch it again, but it was so good. I think maybe I should put Kaiji in my list of shows that I never want to watch again, because that one is just fucking rad. Yeah, I should put that in my anime I never want to see again, but I love. Yeah. Anyway, now is the part of the stream where I'm going to drink some water. We are going to talk about some anime that I've been watching, so we'll get into that. But I also need to drink a little bit of aqua, so we'll get some H2O into me. And we will dramatically transition back to the overhead camera to continue working on this Lego set. We're going to finish this helicopter. I might stay a little late if I need the time to finish this, because I don't want to finish the helicopter on Thursday. I want to get this Lego out of here. But we'll be fine. But I am going to drink some water, and we're going to dramatically transition to the overhead camera right now. All right. Okay, so this is going to go, we're working on our helicopter here. This goes there. This goes here. This goes there. Looking good. Making it happen. Doing the thing. And then to here. So we'll do that. Put that there and put that there. That's looking good. And then, all right, let's talk about some anime while I build some Lego. So I'm talking about episode 8 of Lazarus. And then we might talk about 2 episodes of Apocalypse Hotel. I don't know. But we'll talk about episode 8 of Lazarus. So the end of the previous episode, everybody had split up to do their own thing, to follow their own leads. And at the end of that episode, Chris was called out by someone that she recognized, a woman she recognized in Fiji. And that person called her Alexandra, which is apparently Chris's real name. And then Chris apparently got knocked out and captured because at the start of episode 8, she is awake. She has been prisoner by a spy team of Russians because, of course, Alexandra is a Russian name. And she also used to be part of this spy crew. Dun, dun, dun. The leader of the crew is Inga, and Inga and Alexander go way back. That is the woman that she recognized who called out to her. Now, also in the previous episode, we found out that Hirsch is connected to Skinner, the doctor that they're trying to find this whole time. So the rest of the team is together, and they're like, hey, so what the fuck's up? What's going on? And she's just like, yeah, I was recruited by the NSA because of my ties to him. We do have a connection. You don't have to worry about it. And it doesn't really explain enough about it, but she does at least admit that, like, yeah, what you found out is true. So they find out where Chris is, and they're going to go rescue Chris because they need, this team at this point is kind of all interconnected, and they do care about each other, even though they've been thrown together. And also, they probably think they need her for the mission, which they probably do. Axel, who is ostensibly the main character, infiltrates the oil rig. They're on an oil rig. They get systems. Doug controls a remote controlled tanker into the oil rig as a distraction. Chris escapes in that moment and reunites with Alex. Axel. Axel starts. It's been a hot minute since we had a cool fight scene with Axel, who is essentially the cool fighter, and he's fighting all of Inga's men and like incapacitating them and like knocking them out, and it's fucking cool as hell. And he's doing cool shit and protecting Chris and doing all kinds of stuff. And maybe are sparks flying? Maybe, probably not. But maybe. Inga fights or tries to fight with Chris to find out like what the fuck happened. Why did she do this? And then Chris says, okay, so I did not want to be in Russia anymore. I wanted to escape. But if I just escaped on my own and became a traitor like that, you would have been held responsible for me. And I didn't want that. So I faked my death, including you thinking I died. Because Inga would have been blamed because Inga and Chris were in a relationship. They were lovers. That's right, folks. We finally have in Lazarus queer representation. Chris and Inga, a character we only really were introduced to in this episode, and we met last episode, but only introduced in this episode, did have a queer relationship at some point. This show has some amount of queer stuff going on in it. Chris is willing for Inga to kill her, but Inga hesitates, and then one of Inga's men tries to kill Chris, and Inga takes the bullet for Chris and sacrifices herself and dies. And as Axel and Chris escape the sinking oil rig, yeah, you're right, John. There was a trans person in it, but we're talking about like a queer. Like we have our main character, our supporting main characters. We have a queer relationship among one of our main characters. Is the point I was making, John? But you're right. There was a trans character. But as the oil rig sinks, Chris starts thinking about Inga and is really sad. Because that's right, folks. In episode 8 of Lazarus, we have tragic queers. That's right. In the same episode, we found out that there was a queer relationship that had happened at one point, and one of our main team members is queer and was in a relationship with another woman. It ends tragically. A lot of people, very few people have died in this one. And they killed off a character they barely introduced who happened to be queer. Could Inga have been a guy, and would this have met? Because that's the thing, right? It shouldn't matter at all. Inga being Igor or whatever, will make it fine, right? If Inga is a dude, then it's like, oh, your former, your coworker and your lover took a bullet for you and let you go, right?
it would be the same thing, but it means more because they were ladies in love. It's right. It's supposed to mean more, but it just becomes another fucking trope. Like, when folks say they want queer representation in anime because anime is very heteronormative, and generally queer relationships exist in anime in only one of two ways, which is for the titillation of straight men or straight women, and also in tragic queer stories. Like, I've brought this up plenty of times. You know this. I talked about it in the worst filler arcs. I've talked about it many times. As it happened, that there are only canonically two queer characters in Black Clover, and they are two characters that are only filler characters, so they are never thought of again because they only exist in filler, and they are treacherous, villainous characters who their redemption is going off to die together. And that's the only queer characters in all of Black Clover. As far as we know, the only two queer people in that entire world wandered off into a monster zone to die there together as penance for them being awful, evil people. And in this case, yes, there is a trans person that was around early in the show, and then one of the main cast members, Chris, aka Alexandra, who used to be a Russian spy and is not a Russian spy anymore. Christine, I should say, I really call her Chris. Should also mention Chris, who had to be rescued in this episode, is the gun specialist on the team. And you wouldn't know it from this episode, which is like, yeah, she'd been kidnapped, and yeah, she was in fucking fraught and all that, but you'd almost expect she was the hacker character because she was so, having so much trouble. But that's another character who did get to do stuff in this episode. So yeah, I'm pretty fucking miffed on this one. Pretty fucking miffed on this one, I will say. So I came down from my disappointment in Lazarus by watching 2 episodes of Apocalypse Hotel, which is somehow actually pretty soothing, despite it being like kind of depressing. Melancholy, maybe. So the plot is humanity left Earth in a fucking hurry. And they left a lot of robots around. And this one hotel exists with Yakio as like the kind of main robot. And they've existed as a hotel, waiting for, because like the human owner said, I'll see you soon. So they're just waiting. And that guy's dead. Humanity might be completely wiped out. It's probably wiped out. In the second episode, an alien showed up, and it was the first guest, and it was them trying to like understand what the alien wanted, and they gave the alien left by giving them a seed, and it was like, okay, I think that's the end of that. Now, apparently 50 years later, different aliens show up. A bunch of an alien ship crash lands, and they look like humans. The Procyon family show up. They look like humans, but they are alien Tanukis. The family shows up. They try to be humans. The environmental checker robot goes into combat mode because it feels that something's wrong. So then they all faint, and it's revealed they're Tanukis. They left their home planet due to war, and Earth is kind of similar to them. We do also find out that they found out about Earth, and they learned the Earth language because they came across a human ship, but it was a ghost ship, and all the humans were not alive on it. But they didn't want to tell that to Yachio.
They stay in the hotel. A good chunk of this episode is these Tanukis just causing mayhem and damage and being jerks. And that is a rough time. It's lively, but it's not like good. Eventually, Yakio loses her temper and starts yelling at them for being disrespectful to the hotel, because of course she loves this hotel. She's a robot, but she still cares about it. They clean up the mess, and the daughter, Ponko, is like, I would like to work here. I want to work at this hotel, because Ponko starts to understand that this hotel is pretty fucking cool. And that's episode 3. I don't mind that this show seems to have like not abandoned, but you couldn't really do a show with it just all the remaining robots on Earth running a hotel with no humans. So I don't mind the fact that aliens have shown up now twice. I think that's fine, because they are somewhat interesting, and it does make the show more lively to have that. So I'm not mad about that. I just realized this is not right. These should not jut out like that. So I did this incorrectly. This should be back one, and then these should be up like this. And then this just goes like that. I'm gonna move back here in the instructions and see if that's correct, or if I missed another. Like, it's fine if I missed another part, but I think I definitely did that wrong. Okay, no, yeah. There's just a hole there. Okay. So yeah, I did that wrong, but I fixed my mistake, and now it's right. And then episode 4 is, the Tanukis, they're aliens, but they still are creatures that eat food, and they are a little bummed out with the lack of variety in the menu, because, it's a post-apocalyptic world, and they only have access to so much food. Yakio realizes, the guests are unhappy. I need to spring into action. And so the plan is to go and get new ingredients so they can create new recipes and mix things up and do some other stuff. Ponko goes with her to hopefully do some fishing. That's the idea in the wilderness. But they meet a giant worm. It is apparently an alien worm that is also apparently crash landed there. And the environmental checker robot shows up, but is ineffective against this big worm. And then Ponko, thankfully, is knowledgeable about this big old worm that is called a noodle. And it is an alien creature that lands on a planet and completely destroys it. And that's not good, because they like the Earth. They're living on it right now. So they're like, okay, we got to try to kill this thing. But the cannon on the environment checker robot cannon is ineffective, as we found out. Doesn't work, so they're kind of at a loss. And then Yakio commandeers a crane, and you're like, how is this robot able to operate a crane? Well, apparently Yakio can fish, and so uses the crane as if it was fishing the giant worm. So it crushes the head with a hook and then kills it. And it's like, action is not this show's strong suit. I thought the animation in this was still pretty solid, considering I think this might be the first time I've seen any actual action and fighting in here. Mostly it's just been some characters talking. So I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Anyway, they collect meat from this giant worm, and turns out the Tanuki family fucking loves it. They're like, hell yeah, this is exactly what we want. They're psyched about it. So it all worked out in the end. So yeah, there are still many episodes. I think that was episode 4. Yeah, this was 4. I think there's like 3. I think I'm like 3 or 4 behind. I do plan to finish this. This is just a show I kind of watch whenever, but I do want to talk about it when I can. So maybe I'll talk about it next Monday as well. But yeah, I have Catch Me at the Ballpark and Rockets Ladies Modesty on Saturdays, and Mobile Suit Gundam, G-Quarks, and Once Upon a Witch's Death, that I will talk about, of course, on Thursday. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? You got anything going on? Anything you want to chat with me about? I love hearing from you about these things and things. So if you got something that you got up to or into this weekend, please let me know. As you know, as I've said plenty of times, playing Hearthstone. I got a new deck that makes a bunch of dark gifts, but it's a Warlock deck. So you make a bunch of dark gifts, which are minions that have bonuses, but also Warlock has a legendary card that whatever gifts you give, whatever dark gifts you give to a minion, that card also gets no matter where it is in your deck. So you just make a minion with a lot of attack, with charge, with Wind Fury, and then you can copy it if you want, because there's a card to make a copy of it, but I don't even worry about making a copy of it. I just play it with a bunch of, like, enough to then crush my opponent, and it is very fun. Oops, did I do this wrong? I did this wrong. These were supposed to be here. I did this piece slightly wrong, so now I'm fixing my mistake. But yeah, I had a really good time with that deck. That's my new deck that I'm enjoying. I was playing some Hearthstone, having a good time, having fun. Oh, also, I got a new, there's a couple new cards that make Big Paladin work again, and I do really like Big Paladin. So I've been playing that. That is a good, silly deck that I'm having a lot of fun with. A good Big Paladin. So yeah, I'm playing that. I believe we're currently right now working on the propeller here, main propeller. So working on that on our helicopter. Or are we working on this part? Yes. Okay. So we're working on what I guess goes here. That makes sense. So yeah, I've been playing that. Oh, as always, a lot of Hearthstone. I played some of what I'll be playing tomorrow. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tactical Throwdown. Is that the fucking full name of this? Yeah. It's a TMNT TT is the full name of it. I don't know why I couldn't remember the full name of this one. Tactical Takedown. Yes, not Throwdown. I said Throwdown. I meant to say Takedown. Throwdown is pretty good, but no, Takedown. Tactical Takedown. I've played more of that. I've been playing some of Nubby's Number Factory and still really liking that game. That's a good time. We'll probably play that next month. I am waiting to find out. I'll know by this weekend if I am getting a code for a cozy builder. If I get that code, then I will play that next week on Tuesday. But if I don't get that code, then I will play Nubby's Number Factory with some quality of life improvements. We'll check that out. But yeah, if you got anything going on, you playing anything, you watching anything that you want to tell me in the chat, you can tell me in the chat. I did mention that I watched wrestling because we talked about it last night. I am excited for this Sunday. I'll be watching more wrestling. And I'm excited for that. Looking good for the fine folks at Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. Have a good little card coming up, including a wrestler who's retiring this when is she retiring? Oops, sorry, hold on. Is that right? Yeah, that looks right. Okay. She is retiring this summer and challenging for a belt. So I'm excited for Yappy to take on Suzume, because that'll be a banger of a match. Because those two, I bet, are going to work really well together. So that's this Sunday. Yes, I have not watched enough wrestling. Also, there was a DDT show last week that I want to catch because it was an outdoor show, and at one point there was a big inflatable pool that got set up with water, and somebody jumped off a ladder onto a wrestler in that pool, and I want to see that match because that's the kind of dumb that I like. So I do want to see that because that sounds perfect. That sounds right up my alley and exactly what I'm looking for. So I gotta check that out. That's some good silly shit that I'm, as you may have guessed, a big fan of and super into. So I want to check that out. That sounds right exactly in my wheelhouse. And yeah, I don't know. Other than that, this week I've got a couple meetings. I'm going to finish up the month with a few meetings about some things. I am still working on everything I want to do for my birthday subathon, which will be about a month from now. Today is the 26th, right? So yeah, it'll be a less than a month from now. And then also Plastic Bottle Weekender, which is about a month away. Still finding out what's going on with that. Submissions just closed for that. And I am making the assumption that I will, of course, be able to take part in that, but I'm assuming. So this helicopter is done. It does not have the back. I thought maybe this propeller was going to go on there like that, but they don't do that. They just do this version. But yeah, that's the helicopter. We have completed the helicopter. All that's left is putting it on the stand, which we already built. And so we'll put it on the stand and take a look at that. It's going to go on here like this. It does. The propeller does propel, so we're good. Ghost Valve says, finish season 2 of White Lotus, which I'm not sure I enjoy, but it is a spectacle. Yeah, I bounced right off of that, but I understand why people check it out. Still on Armor Core 6, self-imposed melee-only challenge run. Fuck yeah, I hope you're good. Good luck on that. Trying to find other things fit in other things with no success. Sometimes that's just how it is. Sometimes sometimes it do be like that, where you just don't have anything else going on, or you don't have the bandwidth for anything else. And I understand. Lashbrook finished watching the last 2 Mission Impossible movies, and it's wild how drastic the swing between the Fallout between Fallout is one of the best and Dead Reckoning one of the worst. Want to go see Final Reckoning this week, but I don't know how excited I am for it. Lashbrook, yeah, I mean, I fell off those movies a long time ago. I don't have much to say about the Mission Impossible movies. I'm not going to go to a movie theater because I just don't want to. But if I did go to the movies, I'd be more interested in seeing Final Destination than Mission Impossible. That's just where I'm at, because I don't know the last time I saw a Mission Impossible movie. It's been a fucking hot minute. So this helicopter is an action pose. I could, I guess, do it so that it is like this, but that is kind of top heavy. And I guess I could make it like it's diving, which feels weird. The helicopter is going to crash. Oops, that broke. So instead, I'll do as instructed, where it is just on an angle, just making a turn. But let's get a photo of this, because this is done. This Lego helicopter has been built, and I can take a photo of it. And this Lego set is done, everybody. We did it. We completed this Lego set. It is done. We did the helicopter. Lord Crashington says, I've been watching Jeff Bakalar's playthrough of Eternal Darkness from a few years ago, and I found it fun that at least the 2 Jeffs were way into Matt Berry's line in What We Do in the Shadows, calling somebody the most devious bastard in New York City. That's not a good Matt Berry in What We Do in the Shadows, but like, I'm doing my best. That they keep quoting. Yes. But yes, so my apologies that I did not nail that. New York City. I'm not even doing the city right. I'm not giving it just that. I might be doing the New York okay. Arizona. Yes, nobody can do a good Matt Berry mapper. There's one guy on Instagram that does he does requests for he found out he can do a Matt Berry, and so he gets requests to do line readings as Matt Berry. But yes, Matt Berry does the best Matt Berry. It's very hard. Rich Fulcher, Canada's own Rich Fulcher, and it's not Canada, sorry, Chicago's own Rich Fulcher, who became, who is again, an American comedian who has gotten some notoriety in the UK, does a really good Matt Berry. And it's just because they know each other for years and years and years that he can do it. But yeah. But yes, that's a good discovery. So I don't want to start the model kit, so I'm going to spend the rest of the stream taking apart all of this here. We're going to deconstruct this Legos so that it can go into the box that I have waiting for Lego, because I do have a Lego box. And this will all live in that box until it is full, and then it will get shipped out to Lego Replay, a phenomenal charity that you should peruse, or where you can get you donate your Lego, and then it goes to needy kids so all gets cleaned and sorted, and a bunch of Lego gets sent out to kids, and it's very cool. You don't have to include they don't want your boxes, they don't want your stickers, they don't want minifigs apparently, but I throw them in. I occasionally accidentally throw them in. They just want a bunch of Lego, so you can send them Lego. Oh yeah, there was a bit on John Mulaney's talk show on Netflix where he found out one of his crew sounds like Kieran Culkin, so he has everybody put on masks, so when he needs a proper award speech, Kieran did... Oh, okay, well, he reads a proper award speech Kieran did a few years ago. Okay, yeah. Yeah, sometimes, like, Jason Sudeikis has a Dr. Phil impression that's really good. That's not a Dr. Phil impression. It is a Dr. Phil impression, but that voice is not that. That's his high school gym teacher. He's doing an impression of his high school gym teacher because he found out that doing that voice, which is the same Dr. Phil voice, made his teacher laugh so that he could get out of having to do stuff in gym. So he would do that impression and bust up this guy and then get out of having to do stuff in gym class. And then years later, he's on SNL and he's like, oh yeah, and they're like, hey, can you do Dr. Phil? And he's like, oh wait, Dr. Phil just sounds like this guy I used to do. So yeah, the answer is yes, but no. And sometimes that's just how it works. I love that when impressions are just like, oh no, I'm just doing another person. It just so happens they sound similar to this famous person, so I can do that. You're welcome. I always said my strong suit was definitely not impressions, and my strong suit is definitely not accents. I do not have the gift. I can I'll say this. If handed a script and said, I would like this done in Cockney, I will learn those words in a okay Cockney accent. I will do my best to do it. But if told, oh, this character is Cockney and go, my improvised Cockney voice with improvised lines is not going to be strong because I do not have a gift for that. But again, I can learn words. Like I have, it's not a Cockney. Cockney was a bad example because I don't have an example of this. But there are a variety of English accents. One of them, a Yorkshire style, you think the British Bulldog, if you can think of Davy Boy Smith. That accent, if I want to do that accent, I can just do a monologue I learned with that accent. That again, is not good, but is passing. Certainly passing if you are in a short film or a stage play. That I can do if I remember that monologue. And I don't remember all of it, but I do remember that this monologue was adapted from lines for 4 rooms. So I would say, Ted, 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 Ted. Not Teddy, not Theodore, Ted. Theo the Thumper becomes, moves far, far away and becomes Ted. Again, so that my mnemonic device there is just Ted, 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 Ted. Not Teddy, not Theodore, Ted. It's not good, but it is close to that accent. And then it's almost Yorkshire. It's not actually quite Yorkshire, but it is approaching Yorkshire. And then if I add in some which is another device for it, which gets me into the vibe of it, then I can then add some lines and learn those lines. But I am a learn the lines in the voice I would like to use rather than a have the voice and then I can say whatever you want me to say in that character, which is bad for improv, but okay for script performance. But like that is just that is that thing because I have some acting training, but I am not a trained actor. If I can say it like that, I will say it in that way. While I have some training, I am not. I'm certainly not that. But if I will say this, if I had a script, especially if I was working with a vocal coach, if I was working with a dialect coach, are you fucking kidding me? You give me time with a dialect coach to give me how the words are pronounced, right? Like, tell me how the vowel sounds are. What drops happen in these? What are the connectors? What are words? What are lock-in words, right? Like to me, Ted. Not Teddy, not Theodore, Ted. Like those are my lock-in words because it was a monologue I did. But there might be like water. Like if I'm going to do a Pittsburgh accent, I'm going to fuck that up. But I do know that water is a word to get in there. It is a marquee word for the accent. Because I'm not doing Philly, I'm doing Pittsburgh, which is different from Philly. The yins, yeah, is a different thing. But I know that like water ice, like I know that one. And that to me, that was too Philly and not enough Pittsburgh. But I know how to approach that. If you know the keywords, if you know the slang, if you know the interesting things about it that change it, the regionality of it. The joke I always made about Vampire Diaries, I only watched like the first like season of it, but like it's not Vampire Diaries. It's which vampire show is this one? True Blood. True Blood. That's what it was. Not Vampire Diaries. True Blood. They're all Southern. There was no dialect coach. So there's a brother and sister on that show that have different Southern accents because there's some British people on there. So they have their classical training of what a Southern accent is. But like, and it's fine because people move and all that, right? But brother and sister shouldn't have different Southern accents. They should have had the same Southern accent. And it's just like, oh yeah, so they didn't have a dialect coach on staff. They just had people working with their own dialect coaches. And no one thought to say, oh hey, you two should work with the same dialect coach because you should sound similar. But yeah. That stuff is fascinating. It is a part of acting that I enjoyed. As I said, I am not skilled in it. I cannot pull it off. I certainly do not have it in improv. I have to know the lines, and then I can try to learn the lines the way you want me to say them. And then in improv, if I was gifted with the opportunity to be a character of a certain voice or anything like that, then I would do my fucking best in the moment. And I would try to zone in on like, okay, how do I say a word that sounds like this, that sounds right? Let me say that word. Okay. And then we build an accent. All right. I'll do my best. That's all you can do. What you don't want to do is make it the joke of it. You don't want to make it that joke. So you just do whatever you can. So that is the end of this. I just disassembled for the rest of the stream. This is all going to go into a box. If you could do a one-time bit part in a recent show, what would you pick? I mean, I don't know. I mean, certainly not. I guess I would probably want to play a weird, like I would want to play a clone of something, like a clearly defective person in the simulation or the grander simulation in Severance. I would like to play some kind of person who is clearly not at 100%, like clearly off, you know, or like in the marching band in that episode, because my friend Anya is in the marching band, and that would be fun if I was in the marching band with Anya. She's in there to play music, and I would be in there to pretend to be playing my saxophone. But yeah, I mean, that would be neat. Okay, so our plane is done. We have finished the race plane 3-in-1. I will be putting all this into a box. But I can show you what we're working on next, which will be on Thursday. It's a tease, everybody. I'm teasing you for Thursday. The Lightning Buster Gundam. That's right. This is from the Freedom, Gundam Seed Freedom, the movie. It is the modification of the Buster Gundam. It is the Lightning Buster Gundam. It is, as stated, it is a modern kit. It is a 2024 kit, which somehow is a kit from the ground up. It is not the old Buster Gundam with some new parts somehow. I think it's the old design, but it's a new printing of it, because there are no polycaps for this, which is wild and very cool. Oh, sorry, I dropped something here. That up. I think that's very cool. I'm very excited about it. The Master Grade of the Buster Gundam is one of my favorite early model kits that I built on stream, because I liked Seed enough, and I think the Buster Gundam rules. And so yeah, this is the modified one from the movie. It's got underguns and shoulder guns. The undergun is also like controllers for it, but then it added an undergun. But also the overguns can be underguns right there. You can see that. And also, if I had a big addition, I could dock it with parts sold separately, which I don't know if I'll ever get, but I could get the big docking thing to put in there. I don't think I'll end up getting that, because that's probably a premium thing. But yeah, this will be a very fun build. Not too many stickers for this kit. We look over here. Just a few stickers. A lot of like accent, like gold or green accents. I said gold. The eye stickers, of course. We do start with the head. So the eye stickers will be on Thursday. We'll do that pretty right away. I do like this color. This like burnt red, kind of orangey red. I think it's a really sharp color. Looking forward to doing that. If the Blitz Gundam is a tribute to the Death Scythe, then the Buster Gundam is a tribute to the Heavy Arms. And I like both of those fucking kits. Yeah, it's a nice orange, right? Yeah, it's kind of like this burnt orange red. It's a good color. But yeah, this is and then we also have a couple of almost clear pieces instead of stickers, and that's nice. But yeah, this is like a Heavy Arms tribute kit. It's not exactly the Heavy Arms, but it's a tribute to it. And that's nice. So that's what I'm going to start. Oh, there's even more kit. Yeah, the head has almost all of the stickers are for the head. And only one of them is color correcting, so that's fine. That's going to be a little annoying, but this is like literally the first thing I'm going to be doing on this is these two stickers going on there to be the cheeks. So we got that color there. But that is going to be Thursday. That's Thursday's problem. It's not a problem. Tomorrow, I will be playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tactical Takedown, made by Strange Scaffold. And that game looks rad as hell, and I'm looking forward to that. I played the demo. I played some of the game. I'm excited to play more of it. We'll probably start over. Yes, that's Thursday, Pat, issue. But Tuesday, Pat, is playing a cool video game, and I want you to be there. So please come back tomorrow. Now, what's going to happen right now is we are going to wrap up the stream by going on a raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to go find someone doing cool shit and go spend some time with them, because that's awesome, and that's the thing we get to do, and we're lucky to do it. I believe Mary, even though it's Monday, today is not a Merry Monday, unfortunately. Mary is not streaming. We always end with a raid, indeed. So I don't know who we're going to raid. let's see. Who is doing stuff? Who is doing stuff that we can go hang out with on a Monday if we're not hanging out? She's probably enjoying the holiday. Yes, it is a holiday weekend, so she's probably enjoying her Monday. And that's fine. Good for her. Let's see. Arthur Geese. He's playing Crime Scene Cleaner, a game I have thought about doing because it looked kind of interesting. I do know that it is a cleaner game. It is one of those, a cleanup game, but it also has maybe has a story behind it, or there's lore. So we'll check in with Arthur and see how Arthur is doing. I want to thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. I hope you'll come along on this raid because Arthur rules. And this is a game that, like I said, I have thought about. It was on my wish list for a while. I don't think it's on my wish list now, and I was looking to see maybe I'll pick it up someday, but I haven't. But we'll go hang out with Arthur, see about this game. Come back tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, for some Turtles, for some tactics stuff, the rare tactics stream from your friend Pat, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.